First time I got so hurt, I couldn't walk for like 2 weeks. I think I was 15, maybe 16. And it was because nobody ever taught me about side cleans. They told me to do push-ups, they told me to do sit-ups, they told me to run 10 miles a day, and they told me to do pull-ups. Nobody ever told me that I needed to deadlift with a rotational pattern if I wanted to not get hurt. We talk about cleans a lot on this channel because we talk about important movement patterns. When you work for a living, you pick things up, you put them at shoulder height, and you either carry them or you lift them to put them in place. Oftentimes in the gym training world, unless you're a barbell guy, you don't even practice cleans. This is a huge problem in modern fitness. 70%, something crazy like that, of the American population, North American population, have persistent back pain. That means their back hurts some or all of the time. That's bad. That's a bad thing. The most important thing that we can learn as a movement pattern is how to clean, how to do it with a sandbag, how to do it with a barbell. Most important, how to do it with one kettlebell in one hand. Then we need to learn to side clean. Side clean is where we are actively rotating our upper body 90 degrees from our foot position. If you've ever picked up firewood and rotated to the other side, you are doing a version of a rotated deadlift. That means you need to practice rotating kettlebell cleans. There is another version of that, the heavy club side clean, which forces a different load. Clubs tend to be lighter than kettlebells, but you have to be more precise with your movement. If you practice kettlebell side cleans and club side cleans, everything in your life tends to get better if you work for a living. Over the course of, 30, 35 years of building barns or building houses or re-roofing houses or stacking hay, I have very, 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 very rarely ever picked up a symmetrical object that's exactly balanced. Rafters are not like that, bales of hay aren't like that, bags of grain aren't like that, walls aren't like that, bales of shingles aren't like that. They are odd objects, which means that their center of mass tends to not be in the middle, or how you pick them up tends to make them a lever where the center of mass is not in the middle because of how you have to pick them up to accomplish the task. The kettlebell clean is the first way that you train the body to put weight on one side of your spine. When you put a heavy weight on one side of your spine, and just one, the other side of your spine, all the muscles around it, your abs, the ones in the front, the ones in the back, your glutes, your internal and external obliques, your transverse abdominis, all those fancy words, they all have to contract. Let's start with the kettlebell clean first, and then build to the side kettlebell clean, and then build to the heavy club clean. We don't use any fancy lifting stance. We use what's called a natural standing stance because this is how you work. Point your feet straight ahead. Step back 12 to 18 inches. We do not need to turn out because I have never walked around a job site turned out. I always, if I'm walking a roof beam, it's very important to point your feet straight ahead. So you should train with your feet straight ahead. 12 to 18 inches back, thumb points up, thumb points down, drive the shoulder away from the ear to squeeze the lats. Grab the corner of the kettlebell, push the weight back, catch. How you catch is important. How you lift heavy objects is important because if you do it a lot, you get really interested in lining up under the weight because you probably got to do it all day. Kettlebell down at a 45-degree angle. The heavier this weight, the more these muscles have to fire. We're going to push the weight back and then snap with our hips to stand up. This is not an arm exercise. It is a leg exercise. Push the weight back, catch. Push the weight back, catch. Push the weight back, catch. Notice my feet are not moving. They're pointed straight ahead. My goal here is to stand up. Just like when you're picking up something heavy, we don't bend our legs, we don't duck our butt. Our goal is to get our body underneath the weight so our skeleton can do its job. Just like the walls of a house have to be straight up and down. If the walls are bent, the house is less strong than it should be. Push back and catch. When we set it down, push it back and set it down. Most people get hurt setting things down. The same is true of kettlebells, the same is true of clubs, the same is true on a work site. In the beginning, we're moving the kettlebell from behind us. We're standing up, squeezing our glutes, straightening our legs, and we're catching on one side of our body, like you have a giant pile of lumber on one shoulder. Bigger the pile of lumber, the more this side needs to work. When we practice kettlebells, we're practicing getting those muscles to fire hundreds of times per workout with lighter weights. You don't have to lift super heavy kettlebells to have them have a positive effect on your spine. Let's turn this into a rotating clean. I wish somebody told me about this when I was a kid. Feet don't move. We're gonna pick the kettlebell up, and instead of going front to back, we're gonna rotate, we're gonna push the weight out, and we're gonna swing down to the side. We're gonna snap our hips up, we're gonna pull our elbow to our hip, we're gonna catch, we're gonna stand back up in the center. When we're at the bottom, our knees are not symmetrical, our spine is not rolling. That's how you get hurt. One leg goes forward, one leg goes back. My spine is still straight up and down, my heels are flat on the ground, and I am rotated under load. When you get better at this, everything in your life gets better. 12 to 18 inches, let's pick it up with a normal clean. Thumb in the corner, push back, catch. This is important. Put your bones underneath the weight. If your elbow is out, your bones are not underneath the weight. Without moving our feet, rotate. Weight goes into the back leg. Push, swing, pull, catch. Stand all the way up under the weight. Rotate, push, swing, pull, catch. Come back to center, rotate, push, swing, pull, catch, come back to center. Of course, you would practice an equal number of reps on both sides because you need to be equally good at rotating both directions. Get it up the easiest way possible. Feet are straight ahead, rotate. Hips have gone 45, upper body has gone 90 degrees to our feet. Push, swing, pull, catch, center, rotate, push, swing, pull, catch, center, rotate. Things that people are going to do wrong. They are gonna make this not like a deadlift. They're gonna make this into something else. So when we do a deadlift, both knees are bent equally, our feet are flat on the ground. Our goal is to keep our spine straight up and down. We stand up. When we do our clean, it is the same thing. Clean. When we rotate, it's the same thing. This stays straight. At the bottom, this is still a deadlift. It's just a deadlift with a twist. The thing that people will do wrong is they will make one leg straight, one leg bent, and they will roll their spine. Don't do that. We're training to not do that because that's how you get hurt. To get this position, think about your deadlift, put your hands together, keep both arms straight and rotate to one side. What you'll notice is one leg went forward, one leg went back. I'm not rolling my spine. These hands should still stay together so I can keep my lats engaged. I come up, I bring it back, and I pause. Another version of this, which allows you to lift a different weight, but more precisely, is the heavy club outside clean. We call it outside because it's moving away from our center line as opposed to inside. If you're gonna practice one, practice outside. Let's pick it up with good technique. Pick it up. 2 hands on, rotate. All the leg dynamics are the same. Push, swing, pull, catch. Come back to center. Rotate. Push, swing, pull, catch. Come back to center, stand up. The club will teach us to have better structure over time. When we have 2 hands on, our feet don't move. We rotate. If both elbows are locked and our shoulders are level, then we're in the right spot. If one elbow is bent and our shoulders are not level, we know we're in the wrong spot. It'll self-correct over time if you start with a light enough weight. At the bottom, if both elbows are locked, you're probably in the right spot. If one arm is bent, you're probably not in the right spot. I wish somebody had taught me this when I was young. I got hurt a lot because one side of my body was different than the other, and I didn't really know how to rotate under load. On day 1, practice some version of your front to back kettlebell swing clean. It's swinging. On day 2, practice with a lighter weight and outside single arm clean. Outside means moving away from our center line. On day 3, put 2 hands on a heavy club. The club will be lighter still, and you will work on your elbow lock at the bottom, at the top, and you will learn to stand all the way up. Every day you're practicing standing up. Every day you're using a different weight. Front to back, heaviest weight. Single arm kettlebell, medium weight. 2 hands on 1 club, lightest weight. You don't train with the same weight every single day because your body will eventually break down. By cycling the weight and changing the variation of the movement, front to back, single arm side, 2 hand side, you will build better movement patterns over time. All of these ideas have much longer videos that you can go watch with a 10-minute explanation on each one, and you should find some type of kettlebell program and you should do it. You should find some type of heavy club program and you should do it. When you do kettlebells or clubs, they're cheap, they're affordable. You can do them at home while you're making breakfast, before you leave for work in the morning, and you can make sure your body is functioning properly before you go outside and do work. Had somebody taught me this 25, 30 years ago, I think my whole life would have been different. I probably would have saved myself a couple of $100,000 worth of surgery.